Hello everybody, my name is Gabriel Juhas and I'm here with Luboš Petrovic and today we will show you a use case how to low-code web-based and process-based application in Netgrif application builder and how to deploy it in Netgrif application engine. We will play a use case where I will be a business owner in a bank who is responsible to build a system for processing a mortgage application of end client of a bank, and Luboš will play a Netgrif Petriflow developer who will help me to low-code such a prototype of an application. First, can you create a form where the end client of the bank can apply for a mortgage?
Of course, I'm already doing that.
Okay, so you use this rectangle, which is actually a task, and now you create a form on that task. Here we can add or attach some data fields. So we would like to have their name of the end client who is applying as a text field.
It is a text field, and also I think the
surname.
Right.
We would like to have a surname there too, and we would like to have an email address or a kind of contact email address for the first prototype is okay. And we would like to have all of these three fields not only editable but also required.
Okay, there we go.
And now we would like to have a contact or address of the property that should be covered by the mortgage. So we would like to have a first postal code.
Okay, so you want a postal code
and then the city.
I will use an enumeration field
Okay.
for this purpose.
So right, so what we want to have here is that if a user is entering a postal code, then the system will automatically list all of the cities with those postal code to offer him to choose one of them.
Yep.
Okay, so and here you can make such an action which actually will react to an event, set data. If a postal code is changed, so a set data for this data field is called, then we will make a mapping of this data field text3 and enumeration with index 0, which are IDs of these fields, into local variable postal and city. And then we will use the command change city choices, which is a command for enumeration where you can choose from several values. And now we use a predefined function, which is now a part of the demo application of Netgrif application engine, where we will deploy the mortgage application itself. And you are actually calling this predefined function postal code PSC, and you are like trying to find bytecode which is equal to postal point value. So actually in postal
exactly.
is something what a user entered, and you are like by this value looking or searching in all of the codes by this code. And
not only that, I'm looking only for the unique ones.
You look for the unique ones because it may be multiple times there. So actually this line return postals collect means that you are like making a collection, because in this what PSC is returning is a bunch of objects.
That's
and
right.
you don't want to have objects, you want to have just list of strings with names of the cities. That therefore you collect here just dot city, so a city as a string from these objects, and you are with dot unique making like unique strings of the city names which have this postal code.
Exactly.
Perfect. Okay, and so this is the low code part.
That's right.
Everything other is more or less no code part of the building of the application. Okay, and now it would be nice to have a street, just a text field with a street.
Do you want also a street number?
Yeah, I would also like to have a street number. Okay, and now I would also like to have some financial information. First of all, I would like to have income of the person who is, or end client of the bank who is applying. So income, and then I would like to have amount of money which are landed by the bank.
Okay. So the final price you
yeah,
get. Okay.
amount, and then I would like to have length of the or number of years for which period you are borrowing the money from the bank. And the last field I would like to have is the monthly payment. And this monthly payment should be recomputed. This monthly payment should be recomputed.
I believe so that monthly payment gonna be just visible.
Yeah, monthly payment should be only visible.
Okay. And all the rest should be required.
Yeah, yeah. And when we are here, so actually I would like that the monthly payment is recomputed anytime when number of years or amount values are changed. So maybe, okay, you are using a new data field, which should be probably a Boolean.
Should be a Boolean, okay.
Yeah. You have to change type to Boolean. We will see why, because actually we would like to use this new data field just to call the computation.
Okay.
So we would like every time when it is set, the value of this new data field calc is set, then it should react by recomputing the value. So inside of this should be an action where we need this period there.
So period it is, so
we need a period there.
it was number 2.
Actually I see, okay, it's number 2, yes, number of years. Then we need to have
the amount you want?
Amount, or you can call it loan. Maybe you can call it loan.
Okay, of course.
Okay.
And also you need
and we need
change monthly payment.
Yeah, call it monthly. So in variable, local variable monthly, we will map number 3.
So you want to change monthly.
And here here you see
on the left side.
On the left side, which IDs are which data fields. Okay. Right. And now we want to change monthly value and you should return loan.value plus loan.value multiplied by 0.02 time or multiplied by period value, and this whole divided by period.value multiplied by 12, because the number of years is in years and we want to have a monthly payment. Okay, so we should do this. This is a kind of arbitrary
basic mathematical operation.
Yeah, and you can call any kind of complicated computation here. This is just to illustrate in the first prototype that here monthly payment should be recomputed anytime when the calc is changed.
That's right.
Now we have to satisfy that calc will change every time when period or loan amount is changed. So now in actually number one, which is loan amount, we have to change calc. So change calc value, and because it's Boolean, we can make a negation of that. This is just a small trick. This is just to cause the change of the calc, and change of the calc will recompute.
Okay.
Okay, and the same thing we should make on
the number of years, period.
or period, yeah. So if this field is changed, then calc is changed, and if calc is changed, then the monthly payment is recomputed. Okay, and now, so actually we need maybe just say that amount of money should be also in some sense just in some range.
Okay.
And this we can say maybe this range is starting with 1,000.
The amount you want to get.
Yeah, in range from 1,000 to, I don't know, 1 million. So in this way you can easily set validation of those fields, and actually that's all what we want.
Don't you want to put there some kind of type of land or?
Okay, yes, you are right. You are right. Thank you. Maybe it would be nice also to have some enumeration. That means a choice from several values when we should have a type, property type.
Okay.
Property type. So first can be apartment, and second can be house, and the third may be a land. So what you want to buy?
What kind of property?
What kind of property you want to buy? You can give any other types there, but for the prototype this is okay.
Property should be also required.
Yeah, the type should be also required. So this is actually, and maybe okay, this is actually the form which the end client should fill. Mm-hmm. And now we can try to test it, to deploy it in the Netgrif application engine, just to see how it looks.
Should I use the new version of our...
You can use the new one. Actually, the stable one is on address demo.netgrif.com, but next.demo.netgrif.com is the newest one. This is a kind of newest one. Okay, and here, if you have an account, you can upload your battery flow low code.
Application.
And now you can create a new instance of this form. And we see that everything is there. All the fields that we dragged and dropped. Maybe you can try this postal code, how it works.
Maybe I can finish the first to show how the required fields work.
Okay, you cannot finish or submit the form if not all required fields are filled. And now 8. Okay, you are just maybe 81104. 81104. Okay, that's the Bratislava, and maybe you can try 90042. Okay, here you see that there are many villages with 90042 postal code, and you can choose only from those villages that have this postal code. So for your own country, you can define your own postal code function or any other function. You can make an integration to another system that will give you all the information you need, etc. So we just wanted to illustrate that there can be a custom functions which could be linked to the application engine. Then you can call them inside of Petriflow code afterwards. For this purpose, we created this PSC function, which is working for postal codes in Slovakia, to illustrate this possibility. Now we see that if he give something what is out of range in a loan amount, it doesn't work. If he fills something what is in the range, it is working properly. So what we see also that monthly payment is recomputed anytime when amount or number of years is changed. Okay, so we see that monthly payment is recomputed. Okay, so this is what we wanted to have. This is an application, but we would like to have application form for a mortgage for end clients, but we would like to process it. So we would like to have a web application that is not only for the user who is submitting the form, but it is also for approving or rejecting that application for mortgage, and maybe up to signing contract and sending money to the clients. We would like to have the whole process covered. So we can continue here. So we will not approach the application form task directly, but we will approach it only from other tasks. So we can now create a process. We will start with a state or a place which is marked with a token. And then we will have the first task, and this task will be submit mortgage application form. Okay. And actually what we want to have some kind of link inside here in the form. We would like to have a link, some reference to this application form itself. So you are using, I see, task ref field, and initial value will be this
mortgage application form we created.
Yeah, so actually we will not approach form directly, but here we will refer to that form.
And in this task we will just edit the form.
Okay. And it also would be nice that the end user, if we say cannot approach directly, means that we should have maybe a role which we will call system, and we will later on we will add other roles, but now we will say that this mortgage application form is a system, not this one, okay, is just a system, has only system can perform it, okay. And now after user is submitting the form, it should go to another state, which is represented by new place, and now here it should happen that it can be approved by a loan officer or it can be rejected by a loan officer.
So we'll make a...
No, we can do it in this way. Like we can
decide, like the loan officer should decide if you want to accept or
approve or reject.
Or reject.
Okay. And it would be nice to have in a reject form. It would also be nice to have maybe not the task ref, just a new field, new text field, which we will call reason for rejection, which will be required. So it means that we want that customers knows why we reject it. And it should be also required. Okay, perfect. And now, if you save it, so we would like to also have, if application 4 is submitted, to have some parallel branches, two parallel branches to other places. Yeah, maybe there and there. And to have some tasks which are accessible always, so with some kind of read arc. So this means that they are accessible always, and one is called information maybe, and another is called status. They will be actually pretty the same with the small differences. And
just adjust and align it a bit.
Okay, and I would like if you in both of them, if you make a reference to mortgage application form.
Of course. And here it can
only
be just
visible. Yeah, only visible. And here you can also give this in this status. You can also add this reason for rejection.
Reasons for rejection.
So if it is rejected, then the person should see it. And it also would be nice to have not visible, but first hidden.
First hidden, and then we will
and
make
only if it is rejected, it will be visible. So not from the beginning.
Okay.
Maybe never, because maybe it will be approved. Hopefully, for the end client, it will be approved. Okay, and maybe we would like to have another text field, which is status itself.
Okay, so status itself, we can create it in that edit view.
You can create it, for example, in edit view.
And the name is gonna be status.
Okay.
And it's gonna be text.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, and now you can add it to status and to the information.
It's gonna be also just visible.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Perfect. And it would be nice if the client is submitting the form. On the finish of the task on submission.
Yeah, here we are. In the events, we're gonna choose.
It may be pre-submission. The status should be changed to mortgage submitted.
We will check what's the name of the status, and it should be new variable one. So
okay, this is the ID, and ID is mapped to the local variable status, and now you can make change status value. You have a small typo there. Okay, perfect. And you can return a string mortgage application submitted. Okay, perfect.
like this. Okay, and we can save that.
Okay. And if it is approved, yeah,
the same, and for a reject the same, but with a different name.
Yeah.
Okay, I will do that. I will reuse the function we created here.
So because we want to make change of the status,
and we can do it this way.
Anytime when something is changed.
Approved and also rejected.
Okay. And here maybe we also want to make this field visible.
Okay.
The reason of rejection, because if it's rejected, so we would like to have another. I think you have here also. Okay. Okay.
That was the reason why I made a mistake in there.
Yeah.
We can also check in here because I.
Okay. Yeah.
And also I think it was in submit. So it was not typo in the end.
It was not typo. Okay. I didn't read that this was the real name of the variable. No problem with that.
Just to recheck that. Okay, it's all right. And you wanted me to change the visibility of the field, of the state of the rejection.
Yes.
In here. So the name of the field was the reason for rejection text 7. Reject f dot text 7.
Yes.
And the transition name is the status. It was in status, right?
Yes.
So the trans is the t.t7. That's the ID of that field.
Okay.
And now we want to make that reject.
Yeah, make reject visible on
trans
when always. That means when true.
When this happens.
Yeah, when this happens. Always when this happens.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Okay. This also make it visible if it's rejected, so the end client will see the reason why it was rejected. Perfect. And now we can continue in process, and you can make new places, new state variables. Okay, there and there.
Here and here. Okay.
Okay, and say that if it's approved, it's going here, and it's rejected, going here. And after we can now try to deploy and see whether it works.
Maybe we can simulate.
We can simulate. It should work like this. Okay, if it's submitted, it can be approved. It is a happy path, or it can be rejected. It is an unhappy path. Okay, and now we can deploy. We can download the low-code code, and we can deploy.